We are speaking about a fiscal crisis at the scale greater than the Great Recession. And so there will not be one single thing that can answer that crisis. It will require us to pursue every single avenue. That means looking inward into savings and efficiencies. That also means raising taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations. And it means recalibrating the relationship with the state.
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sunset Rants. I'm your host, Biddy, and I got Navasa, 31 Flavors of Tism. What's up?
Oh, got to get a little scoop of everything.
But yeah, thank you guys as always for coming to join us, hanging out with us, getting ready to listen to some news. Don't forget to stick around for the end when we play our game Caption This. If you like to follow the show, it's the real Roma _AK on X. You can also follow me if you like, Elizabeth213A, and Navasa's on X as well, Lord Navasa, spelled just like you see in front of you there. And then you can use the Q&R code at the top of the screen. That'll bring you right to our website, riseofmiddleamerica.com. So without further ado, why don't we get to it? Because we got some stuff. We got some things.
Oh, we've got a hump day's worth of this.
We got a hump day. We got a lot in that camel's hump. All right. So from ABC News, FBI leading investigation after man charges Rep. Ilhan Omar during town hall, police say. It's very, very serious. The FBI is now leading the investigation after a man charged the podium where Rep. Ilhan Omar was giving remarks during a town hall in Minneapolis on Tuesday. The man appeared to squirt a liquid at her and was then attacked to the ground by a security guard after a brief struggle. The man, identified as 55-year-old Anthony Kazmierczak. He was arrested and booked into Hennepin County Jail on suspicion of third-degree assault, Minneapolis police said. The department said its officers were at the town hall for the event and observed a man use a syringe to spray an unknown liquid onto the congresswoman. Preliminary reports indicate the liquid was non-toxic, Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said during a press event on Wednesday. Moriarty said her office is reviewing its charging options and that she has heard that the federal government might charge the man as well. The Minneapolis Police Department said Wednesday that the FBI is now leading the investigation and that it had no further public information. The incident sparked cries of alarm from those in attendance. The congresswoman did not appear to be injured. Quote, "I'm going to finish my remarks. It is important for me to continue," Omar said, using profanity. "We will continue," she said. "These FA are not going to get away with it." The disturbance comes amid tensions in Minneapolis between local officials and the Trump administration over the immigration crackdown in the city that has seen 2 U.S. citizens killed in shootings involving federal agents. Shortly before the man charged the podium, Omar called for abolishing immigration and customs enforcement. Afterwards, she told reporters that she won't be intimidated. She said, you know, I've survived more, and I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me because I'm built that way, she said. I can't even read this anymore. You know why I can't read it? And I'm going to tell you why. Because we still have a lot of information coming out, right? So we can't say anything concrete. However, we've seen this before. We've seen, you know, everybody's talking about the Jussie Smollett case and all this other thing. It just seems like every single time we zero in on fraud or something crazy going on or questioning in you know, people's immigration status, like Ilhan Omar, maybe, you know, her winery thing that was coming out that they were, you know, getting a handle on, figuring out how she made millions of dollars, you know, in an instant, you know, after coming here with like no money. All of a sudden something happens. All of a sudden there's protests that are just going on like crazy. People are getting shot. The tensions are escalating. And you know what nobody's talking about? Well, not nobody. I mean, people are still talking about the fraud, but a lot of people are starting to talk about this stuff, about the protests, about what happened at the protests. Now everybody's talking about this, trying to figure out the different angles, trying to see, like, you know, if she knew the guy. You know, there's pictures coming out of her like smiling with him. That may be him. We don't know. But like, it's whether or not we figure out eventually that this is all BS, it's still deterring for a moment. It's still giving them time to kind of regroup. You know, even going all the way back, when you think of people starting to question things that Obama was doing, then all of a sudden other things started happening, and then we started, you know, paying attention to, you know, to what was going on throughout the country. So I just feel like it just seems like I can't pinpoint every single instance, but I just feel like in my gut, I see everything just always shift. Whenever we get close to a revelation of some sort, everything shifts. And then, you know, people have short memories, and then all of a sudden people forget all about it. People forget everything about it. There was something that I was talking about the other day. I can't even remember it now. I'm like, has anybody even talked about that anymore? I was asking my husband. I'm just like, it went away. And I don't even remember what it was. Because we're just so inundated with so much. I'm sorry, Vanessa. I know you're like ready. But please, what do you think? What do you think about all this? Yeah, it's called distraction, Rick. Exactly. Sorry. I told you I wasn't going to rant. I ranted. Sorry.
No, it does my heart good to know that even though you said you were coming down with something, I think you now have a case of the rants.
Yes. Yes. I just can't. It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating because I feel like these people are just going to get away with it. It just really pisses me off. And then when you finally do arrest people, all of a sudden you got these judges coming out of the woodwork that just, you know, either say they're not going to sign a warrant, they're not going to, you know, hold people, they're going to let them write out if they get arrested. And this is what I said about the whole Don Lemon thing. I said, these people, if they're all connected. The leader was with the NAACP, you know, whatever, she was the president, vice president, I don't know what the heck, she's a leader. But they all know. They all know. They're in cahoots. They have each other's freaking phone number. They text message. Don't tell me they know exactly that they're going to get off the hook when they do these things, especially big figures like Don Lemon. And it really, really pisses me off. I feel like it's like a whole joke.
Oh, do not be mistaken. It is still a joke of all jokes. That's our alleged godly producer has a little video for us to see, to show us.
Yeah, Tara Bull. Yeah, 7 seconds, but you can see it. See if you can catch it.
Or face impeachment. Resign or face impeachment.
Okay.
There it
I'm
is.
not
There
even going to say.
Right
I'm
there.
not even going to say.
That?
Wait. I'm not even going to say. No, don't say. People in the chat, did you see it? Did you see what we're looking at? Anybody in the chat, did you see it? Come on, guys. Should we play it one more time? Oh, he's going to slow it down even further. One more time. Because I don't want to just tell you. I want you to see it. Now, dude is sitting right here in the bottom right-hand corner. Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, keep going. Go. Okay, he walks up. There are 2 nods.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. That's 1.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna tell you because the boss is already telling you too. But like seriously, she looks up. Am I crazy? She looks up at him, and as
Right
soon
there.
as she looks
That's
up,
1.
his reaction right away, split second, jumps up. Was that
Now,
I'm ready to go? I'm ready to get wet? Like, was that what that was?
now,
Or are we just reading into it too much? I don't know.
first
I don't
off,
know.
Biddy,
What?
phrasing.
Yeah, well, you know how I always step
I
in that.
know. First off,
it, it
I
wouldn't
don't
be
care what anyone says. Every man readily acknowledges that they have their inner 12-year-old.
no, to be honest, I actually thought of it myself after I said it, but I was just like, whatever. But no, it's right. And I know Rick, that's exactly what they want out of me. Or not just me, us. You know, they want us to be frustrated and feel like, you know, nothing's ever going to be done, so we should just give up. And I've often said that too, that like we can't allow that to happen. But I really do get upset. And I think it's just, I don't know, I'm just letting my emotions take over because then I see them with their smugness and all this stuff. And it just makes me feel like I want the smirk wiped off their face already. You know, I want that satisfaction.
Oh,
but...
no. No, I want the exact opposite. I want that smirk to be permanent.
And like, who does that? You get squirted with some random thing. You don't even know if this guy has a weapon. I mean, they probably did get checked, but you don't know. You don't know if they checked him, right? The first instinct is to go and show that you're gonna punch him. The first instinct from your staff is not, let's go take you outside and check you, make sure you don't have any acid or something on you. Come on, like, give me a break with this, bro. Like, give me such a break, because I really can't. And anybody who looks at this and says, "Oh yeah, they're coming after her, they're trying to silence her," please remember the whole Pelosi thing with the pig, whatever that was written on the garage door. I mean, come on, like this is just constant. It could be something that silly, or it could just be something crazier, like these protests and unrest and like destroying buildings and worse. Anything to distract.
You know,
Anything to keep their fraud going.
All I can say is, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're going to distract your way again, or if you're going to distract yourself away from the Epstein files, this is nothing. Literally, once we were on the precipice of a revelation with the Epstein files, oh, Venezuela. Now we're on the precipice of an Ilhan Omar incestuous immigration fraud report. Oh, she gets attacked by apple cider. And I wouldn't be surprised if
that was what it was, right? Apple cider.
Yeah.
But apple cider vinegar, yeah.
I'll say, if there is a little bit of a question about quote halal versus whatever the fucking Islamic bullshit is for kosher, but if somebody actually took like 15 seconds of schmoogling, they would have used hot dog water instead.
But that's the thing. If the guy was actually an agitator or somebody that was against her, maybe he would have. Maybe it would have been like liquid bacon grease or something. Maybe it would have been something like that, something to just, throw it at her and make a statement.
But bacon grease is too expensive, Biddy. Besides, you keep that shit.
That's true. No, but on a serious note, I really, I really hope that this doesn't use up too many resources to figure this out. I'm glad that the FBI is like looking at, because we don't want them to be like, oh, they didn't really give it enough energy, and then we gotta revisit this every 5 seconds, even though we probably will. Probably the mainstream media will revisit this constantly and bring it up as like a sore subject, and she'll be on CNN. They'll be like, "How are you holding up? Is everything okay?" Like, to just kind of like really dig it in. But I'm glad that at least that they're doing their due diligence about it, and that way we can just toss it out and get back to work, because all of this is just taking away from everything that we need to uncover, because it's not just Minnesota, it's not just California. I mean, there's talks about fraud in Maine. I'm for sure there's stuff going on in New York, allegedly, but come on. I mean, everywhere, everywhere. And then once you start looking into fraud and different things like that, then you start getting into the election stuff, because that was starting to get uncovered for the pay to play stuff, the pay to vote, things like that possibly going on. So we were getting somewhere. We really were. And we really need to. And that brings us to our next story. Navasi, you want to regale us?
I don't have that link. I don't have the link.
Oh, all right. Don't worry. It's a quick one. You can take I'll just read the article real quick, and then it's really short.
Please.
Okay, so coming to you from KJZZ Phoenix, the FBI conducts a search at the Fulton County Election Office in Georgia. Hallelujah! One thing that we were like, we need this, that it's fine. Like, we're finally seeing some action. So, all right. The FBI on Wednesday was conducting a search of the Fulton County election office outside of Atlanta. The county said the search warrant served by the FBI was for records related to the 2020 election. The FBI would only say it was executing a, quote, court-authorized law enforcement action. But last month, the Department of Justice announced it's suing Fulton County for records related to the 2020 election. President Trump narrowly lost Georgia's 2020 presidential race by just under 12,000 votes, and has repeatedly pushed baseless claims about how the state's election was conducted. In its complaint against Fulton County, the DOJ cited efforts by the Georgia State Election Board to obtain 2020 election materials from the county. On October 30th, 2025, the complaint says the U.S. Attorney General sent a letter to the Fulton County Board of Registration Elections, quote, demanding all records in your possession responsive to the recent subpoena issued to your office by the State Election Board. A Fulton County judge has denied a request by the county to block that subpoena. Since the 2020 election, Fulton County has been at the center of baseless claims of election fraud by Trump and others, the people that were around and they were watching, the ballot watchers, that came out, there was like weeks and weeks we were listening to people and they were getting dismissed. They're not baseless, obviously, exactly. That my producer's telling me, and it's so true. Like, and they paint this narrative. They push everybody to the shadows that had credible concerns, evidence, showed things, detailed things. They push them to the side. Then they get all these corrupt judges to be like, you don't have any standing. Then all of a sudden the news comes out and they cite this BS and they cite that BS, and then the public that believes the BS goes, well, would ask the judges. Why don't you ask these people? It was thrown out. Isn't that? Yeah. Now I'm gonna have to like go through the whole thing and explain it. Yeah, that's what they do. Last week, while speaking at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, Trump said that, quote, people will soon be prosecuted for what they did regarding the 2020 election. In November, the sweeping election interference case against Trump and allies was dismissed by a Fulton County judge. So. Yeah. And just so you guys, if you forgot, this is the same area where the pipe mysteriously burst, delaying counting for about 4 hours. And also in Georgia as well, in Spalding County, about 18 precincts had countrywide technical issues that they stayed later for about like 2 hours to continue to count. So, yeah, it was totally legit. Everything was cool. Yeah.
All I'm saying is Spalding County is not the country. Goodness.
Did I say country? I don't know. But you know.
Yes, you did.
Well,
You have a
it might
case
as
of
well
rape.
be.
I understand.
I'm sorry. It's so funny because I said I'm probably not going to be able to rap because I can barely breathe. But like, it's just all of this stuff is just driving me crazy. And then also I wasn't on a couple of shows, so I'm like, bleh, I need to get it all out. But yeah.
Biddy,
What?
I will tell you this.
What?
Human beings will do anything for one of three reasons.
What?
Because they love doing it, they're paid enough to do it, or they do it in spite of it. And trust me, number 3 is the most common.
Anyway.
But no, this is also the same place where 400,000 ballots were ordered to be maintained at a Fulton County warehouse in Georgia, because the judge there, like the article said earlier, where the court had said, no, you're not going to do that. We're not going to block this.
Mm-hmm.
They had attempted to destroy those records because they no longer fell inside the Records Preservation Acts of Georgia. However, 2021, Governor Brian Kemp, alongside Brad Raffensperger, went ahead and got I believe it's called the Georgia Fair Elections Act of 2021, which basically says you can't use electronic machines as the sole voter tabulation. So it's like when I was in Tennessee, yeah, I had a voter box that I would push a few buttons and it would tabulate my vote. But I also got the paper copy that I kept.
Yeah, that gives you like the reassurance.
Hey,
mm-hmm.
And if they did, yippee-ki-yay. Yeah, in Georgia, you're only allowed to do the paper ballots. The ballots can only be counted by hand. The polling sites cannot have boarded up windows. A whole bunch of other things went into that because of 2020. And, of course, Stacey Fatbrooms and her cohorts of failed Democrats in Atlanta went ahead and tried to sue the state and got their asses kicked. Much like how Fannie got her fanny kicked in the fanny.
The fact that her first name is Fanny is just so funny.
I'm always stuck with the Stewie Griffin little clip from Family Guy. It's like, look at my fanny, look at my fanny, look at my fanny. Tism, folks. All the tism.
All the tisms. But yeah, and so this, as you pointed, so this is the place where President Trump was charged with trying to overturn the 2020 election. It's kind of like they tried playing an Uno reverse. It's like, allegedly, they committed this like election fraud or whatever that might have happened. And then somebody comes in and says, I think that there's some irregularities. We need to check this out. And then they put like gates, brick wall, Teflon, everything that you could possibly wrap around this area. And it's like, that wasn't the only one that was being called out for possibly having irregularities, but this one, they wanted to like protect it seems so much, which makes me feel like there's a lot to find. Like if you had to do all of this distracting and you had to do all of these different turnarounds and different things, like I really want to see now. I want to see what's in there, like what's going on in there. Brad Raffensperger, you brought up the Secretary of State. He's the one that claimed that he felt pressured by Trump when Trump, on that infamous audio that was leaked. That's it's like, I just need you to find me whatever, certain 1,000 or whatever. But I understand what Trump was saying when he said that. I actually disagree with him for saying that. I understand what he was trying to say, because also it costs a lot of money to go through these things and everything. And he was probably in his head sure that he got like all of the votes that were left over and that it was being siphoned away from him. So he's just like, I don't need you to continue on this thing forever. Just, get to this point and then we're fine. But that was a dumb move on his part, because they were able to take that and make it seem like, oh, he just wants you to stop where he wins and then move on, which, it's a fair Especially if you hate Trump, like that's like, yeah, that does sound like that. But I know what he was trying to say. I
You also
actually
gotta-
do. Yeah.
You have to remember, like our godly producer Brian has put in the chat, Donald Trump is the king of Uno reverse cards. You also have to remember, Fulton County is also where he got the mugshot taken, spread across the world faster
Oh
than the Pepe rolls.
yes! Oh my gosh, that like became T-shirts, like people going crazy. That's like when most people were like, "Bro, he's a gangster. Like, look at this guy. Like, he's got a
That
mugshot." Like,
mugshot was, hold on. That mugshot became more famous than Che Guevara.
okay, who's Che Guevara? I don't know who that is.
You don't.
Maybe
You
because
don't
Trump.
know
Trump
the
I know.
it's
That's great.
It's Fidel Castro's right hand. All the
Oh,
college
okay.
dumbasses wear Che Guevara shirts.
Oh, maybe. I probably saw it. I probably know his face. when
Again,
I
you'll
see
have
him.
to look it up, but anyone who knows, they're laughing. But you had mentioned earlier.
Imagine the
pointing out
vest and the beret.
irregularities and thank you, Brian. Don't you do that. But you had mentioned earlier a whole bunch of irregularities. Someone points out the irregularities, they get bogged up in the courts between ripeness, mootness, latches. Oh, did you do this too early? Did you do this too late? Or damage is evident? Or damage is
delay for discovery. Yeah. A lot of exactly. A lot of back and
discovery.
forth.
I'm okay with. I'm okay with discovery.
I mean, I'm okay with
That's
it, but all of these things get pulled out in order to delay. Whether or not
Exactly.
it's good, it's just still.
Well,
it's things that they.
I can guarantee you one thing, though. There is always a regular something that's always going to happen in the United States. Always with regularity and will never pull out. And that's fucking with the Middle East.
Oh.
Because
Yes.
from CNN, I will give credit where credit is due. CNN Online is a bit better than the CNN anchors. But when your standard is poo. So, from CNN, quote, U.S. conducts military drills in the Middle East as tension with Iran builds amid Trump's demands. Wait, Iran still exists? I thought we blew up their crap with the bunker busters. U.S. President Donald Trump renewed threats to strike Iran if it does not agree to negotiate a new nuclear deal as U.S. forces conduct a multi-day air exercise in the Middle East, bolstering Washington's military presence in the region. The drills aim to sharpen the U.S. Air Force's ability to rapidly deploy personnel and aircraft, operate from dispersed locations, and sustain operations with a minimal footprint. U.S. Air Force's Central Command, the U.S. Air Force's component for the Middle East and Central Asia, said Monday. The exercise also showcases airmen's capacity to generate combat sorties under demanding conditions alongside partners, ensuring that air power remains ready when and where it is needed. Trump on Wednesday reiterated his warning from last week that quote, Armada is heading toward Iran, and he threatened possible military action following the regime's brutal crackdown on a wave of anti-government protests. His latest threat called for Iran to come to the negotiating table to reach a, quote, fair and equitable nuclear deal, or else, quote, the next attack will be far worse, unquote, than last year's U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. Time is running out, Trump posted on Truth Social. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi warned that the country's armed forces are fully prepared to respond immediately and powerfully to any aggression against Iran's territory, airspace, or waters. But he also reiterated Iran's willingness to reach a fair and equitable nuclear agreement. Kazem Gharibabadi, Iran's deputy foreign minister, said no negotiations are taking place with the U.S., but that indirect messages are being exchanged. If they claim to want negotiations, they must stop making threats, he posted to X. Tensions over Iran's nuclear program have escalated steadily since Trump withdrew the United States from a 2015 nuclear deal with Iran in 2018 and reimposed sanctions. The Trump administration has argued that Iran seeks to eventually produce nuclear weapons, which Iran has repeatedly denied.
Yeah, okay.
And then the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group has already arrived, according to a Monday post by Central Command, which oversees U.S. forces in the Middle East and West and Central Asia. And we get a little bit more. We'll get to warnings from Tehran. Meanwhile, Iran has been escalating its rhetoric against the United States, warning that any attack would be met with force that could have destabilized the entire Middle East. Tehran is more capable of responding to any aggression from the U.S. with a, quote, regretful response, Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghei told journalists on Monday. I'm going to stop right there because Bengay. I'm just going to. But no, in all seriousness, Tehran has already proven that they are incapable of defending themselves, the airspace above them, and now we're also seeing that they are incapable of controlling their population, especially because of these anti-government protests.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
personally,
you would think, yeah, go ahead.
what I was going to say is, as far as Iran goes, we screwed Iran because of oil. We did not cause the suffering of Iran under the Ayatollah. We did impose the Shah, but I am thankful the Shah does not seem to be able to come back to Iran and become reinstated. I heard it once put that the Shah was a Zoom dictator, a Zoom tyrant, if you will.
Like he was always just coming on the screen. Yeah.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
There is promise. And should the Ayatollah fall, because I'm pretty sure the mullahs have already left Tehran. Pretty sure. But once Iran's religious guard and government falls and a new democratic Iran is established, it will have ripple effects against China.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be one of the biggest political, cultural, and geo-societal victories that Trump will ever be able to hold as his come the next year. That's the big thing right now.
And the ones that, well said, the ones that realize it too need to scream from the rooftops because, and this is why, they try to say like, oh, he talks about himself. He's always talking about things because he has to. If he doesn't like say it and his press secretary doesn't say it and other people don't say it, the mass of people aren't going to hear it. They're really not going to understand the ins and outs of things. Like people don't understand geopolitics. I don't understand. Like there's so much to it. Like you have to figure it out. And everything that's happening with Venezuela, with Iran now, a lot of these things with the Panama Canal, all of it, there's a common denominator. They have a friend who also hates us. And that friend is getting crushed strategically. But they have their claws dug in really deep. They've been doing it for a while. They've been allowed to do it. There's a lot of things that are going on with, babies being born here and then being sent back over there to grow up in the communist area and then get, still have citizenship. There's a lot of really funny things going on. So, we still have a lot of work to do. But yeah, well said, because there's a lot. It's like multifaceted. Yeah, go ahead.
No, too early, Brian. Too early. But I was going to say two things, Biddy. Number one, when was the last time you heard of a Hamas Hezbollah or Boko Haram attack make the news? Or ISIS attack? When was the last time you heard any of those?
Not, yeah, for a while. I guess like months, maybe. Months, even 6 months. I don't know. It's been a while. Time flies, but it's been a long time.
Sanctions work, assholes!
Sanctions work. Yeah. They don't have the money. They don't have the weapons. They don't. Yeah, you eventually do run out of bullets. You eventually do need reinforcements. And, if you don't have the money, yeah. Maybe we should taking Venezuela off the map. Yeah, further isolating everything. But yeah, maybe some states in the United States, maybe they need to be looked into fraud. Maybe monies. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so.
You gotta remember, I had a second point.
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned earlier. Eventually, you do run out of money. You do run out of bullets, and that's just as true at the national level as it is the local level. And we have a certain person, a certain mayor of sorts, that seems to be running out of money faster than anyone ever thought. Oh dear God, who could that be?
Why? Oh God. All right. So coming to you from the New York Post, the bane of my existence, Zoran Mamdani pushes NYC tax hike on the rich. In blow to fellow Democrat Kathy Hochul's budget plan, it's not enough for mom. Mayor Zoran Mamdani brushed off Governor Kathy Hochul's state budget proposal that came with a pledge not to hike income taxes, saying Wednesday he's going to push for an increase anyway. It's the latest move by Mamdani to push Hochul to the left to align with him and his liberal supporters' goal of soaking wealthy New Yorkers to raise billions to pay for a freebie-filled agenda that includes free bus fares. Socialism! Is that what that is? Oh. Our administration is preparing to make the case that it is time for New York's most profitable corporations and wealthiest residents to pay their fair share. They already... Okay, I'm going to keep going. Mamdani told reporters at an unrelated press conference at the Whitney Museum in Manhattan. The comments came just one day after Hochul unveiled a mammoth $260 billion budget for the Empire State as the Democrat governor faces pressure both from the left and right in an election year. She unveiled a universal pre-K plan in her budget alongside the push from Mamdani and supporters, but that wasn't enough for the mayor, who said the city makes up 54.5% of the state's tax revenue, but only received 40.5% back, and he'll need Albany to okay any hikes for the Big Apple. What we are looking to do is to tackle longstanding fiscal issues that both have to do with the need for more revenue from the highest earners, but also the relationship between City Hall and Albany. I'm just gonna, because I can't. I had to look it up because I had to figure some stuff out. So how much does the 1% of wealthy New Yorkers pay in taxes currently? In New York State, the top 1%, the state, now this is a state, the top 1% of earners pay a very large share of personal income taxes. Approximately 46.2% of all state income tax revenue comes from the top 1% of earners. In dollar terms, this group contributes roughly $79.5 billion in income taxes annually. Members of the top 1% in New York face higher effective income tax rates than many lower income groups, largely due to the highly progressive state tax system, while specific effective overall rates vary. Studies indicate top earners pay effective tax rates in the mid 20% range on income. Okay, all the top 1% make up a small portion of filers. They fund a disproportionate share of the income tax base already, which makes state and local budgets heavily reliant on these top earners already. Okay, so think of this. Mamdani wants to put out on a platter what he wants to give New Yorkers. Probably why he was elected. I still think there was some weirdness going on there, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. He got elected, right? People heard the free ketchup in the lunchroom, the free buses, all that other crap. They were like, yeah, whatever. he wants to, there's already been a mass exodus. A lot of businesses have left. A lot of wealthy people have left, over the years as they were getting taxed. And there was this whole thing with Trump going on with, them trying to figure out, the courts there trying to say like how much your property is worth and all this. There's a lot of stuff that's been pushing people out of this area. And it's not even just the wealthy, it's the upper middle class. A lot of people were selling their homes because of everything that went on with COVID. So a lot of the top earners have already left. The ones that have stuck it out, you think they're going to stay if their taxes get high, number one, and if they do stay and their taxes go up, or if they do leave after their taxes go up, where is he going to get the money for his pet projects? And this is why I think that he's going to turn around. He knows that it's going to fail. He knows that it's not going to be helped out by Albany. And when the governor race comes up, he's going to try and push for the another socialist, commie, somebody to run for governor and primary Hochul. And then we're going to be really screwed because then Albany is going to be run by somebody who's going to allow all of this. They're going to strip from the New York State, which most of New York State, they got it together. You leave New York City, like you leave the boroughs and you start going up the 95 or you go, these parkways, the roads get nicer. Like you can actually feel it. Everything is smoother. All the, there's no junk all over the place. There's no crackheads crawling around. There's no, even the people are driving nicer, and just like staying in their lane and whatever. And they got it together. They got a beautiful situation up there. Why are we, like a lot of those people are going to be people that are in the top earners. When they talk about 1%, they don't mean the billionaires. They really don't. They say this, but then when the literature comes out, it's like over 600K or whatever. And you're talking about people that own homes and probably made it to a point where they're up in that bracket, close to that bracket, and they're going to get taxed. Do you think they're going to stick around to deal with this? There's just like so much. I feel like he knows that he's not going to get what he wants, and he's going to be able to use this to campaign against her and say, I was trying to give you free buses. I was trying to give you all this free stuff, and she wouldn't let me. So get this guy in and we'll do it. And he probably still won't be able to do it, even if they get that person in, but it'll be too late. So there's my rant. And I'm still stuck.
Oh, no. I'm going to give you more. I'm going to give you more to rant.
No.
Everything you just said is 100% true and cannot be denied. But what does it take for a state to go too far to be inoperable? At what point does a state fail as a state?
Tell me. I can't think.
That happens when the bonds issued by the states are no longer being bought. Because California has been doing the same thing. Because, we want borrow. It's like Jim Cramer. Buy. But instead of buying stocks, you're buying state bonds. California state bonds may as well be junk. You're not going to get that money back. And when the time comes, they're just going to buy another set of bonds to pay the first bonds. Everything the left has become can be described as a Ponzi scheme. Mm-hmm. In all facets, it's always going to be a Ponzi scheme because they can't create wealth. They can't create a service or a product. It can only work with the force of government, from robbing Peter to pay Paul, as the old adage goes. And then on top of all this, for me, I'm studying psychobabble as a hobby. And one of the things that I've noticed about humanity is that we have this innate desire to ask ourselves, why is this a fantasy and why can't we make it reality?
Like
and
Utopia.
In this case, exactly. And in this case, I have a severe gut feeling of a really, really bad type that Escape from New York may come to pass.
Please, I just watched that movie again the other day. I'm like, wow, this is really going to happen, isn't it? I'm going to be stuck here. I'm not going to be able to freaking leave. Like, literally not be able to leave.
Well, at the rate government goes, I think you have just enough time to get what you want and then blast out of here. And I even told my parents when about 15 years ago now that the exodus that's happening in California is going to result in about 3 waves of emigration. And from California's perspective, the first wave of emigration was to Nevada and Colorado, and to a lesser extent, Oregon. Because less taxes, less people, more availability. Of course, they conveniently forget Utah, because what leftist ever wants to deal with God? Except for the God that they manifest themselves, because leftists and atheists think that they are themselves the ultimate power, so that's neither here nor there. Do what thou wilt.
Yeah.
I think, therefore I am. Therefore, I take you. That's left. That's leftism in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And then the second wave was to Washington, Texas, and Florida. Because once you fucked up Colorado, Oregon, Nevada, the local areas near you, you'd have to keep going further eastward. It's almost like slavery in a way. The expansion of slavery was necessary to keep the institution going. The literal expansion of leftism can only keep, it's the only thing that is keeping leftism alive. The fact that it's only able to spread to the other states is how leftism is still existing. Because if it was contained to itself, California would have already collapsed because, I don't know, the city of San Jose is the largest city in the United States to declare bankruptcy. Because that's already happened.
I know. And all the things that they say, like, oh, we feed the country with different things. It's like, only because you're getting subsidized for certain crop growing. Like, you act like you're the only place with grass and soil and the ability to grow.
Well, let me put it to you this way. We're coming to find out everything that California can grow, Texas can grow too.
Sorry, but I hear the music in the background. It hits so hard every time. Sorry, go ahead. If you guys can hear that, that's Roma right there. Roma, yeah.
Well, first off, hi, boss. Second off,
hi, boss.
But no, as a Californian, I escaped California by joining the Navy in that decade of shenanigans. But right now for New York, the exodus out of New York is going to cause the census shifting to primarily take place in Virginia, North Carolina, Florida to a lesser extent, and weirdly enough, Ohio. New Yorkers leaving New York for Ohio and Michigan, excuse me. That's the one that kind of threw me for a loop. Is like, you're leaving New York to go to Michigan.
Yeah, we get I've been in my job for like 11 years. So I was there, of course, through the whole COVID thing and witnessed a lot of the exodus, not just by seeing people's houses for sale, like all over the place, but like getting calls from parents who needed medical records sent over to the new doctor in the new state. And yes, a lot of them went to Florida. But there were a lot that went to South Carolina. There were a lot that went to Pennsylvania. So I was getting a lot of that too.
Well, you brought up medical records, and it just triggered one of my 31 flavors of tism. Because you want to talk about medical records? Medical documents. Medical documents means we have breakthroughs. We have reports. We have new stuff coming out because of capitalism, people. Yes. Unfortunately, this one's coming out of Spain, but
that's all right.
Allegedly, again, we'll take the breakthroughs where we can get them. We'll just slap an American company on top of it. But in Spain, they have allegedly cured pancreatic cancer tumors in rats.
That's amazing.
From Europe News, quote, a new study by researchers in Spain found that triple therapy eliminates pancreatic tumors in mice. Pancreatic cancer is one of the most aggressive tumors with the worst prognosis, partly because of the rapid emergence of resistance to treatment. But a new study from the Spanish National Cancer Research Center, Centro de Nacional Institución de Cáncer, reveals that it is possible to eliminate pancreatic tumors in mice and prevent them from recurring using triple combination therapy. These studies open a way to design new combination therapies that can improve the survival of patients with pancreatic cancer, ductal adenocarcinoma. Pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma. The authors said in a statement, quote, these results set the direction for the development of new clinical trials, it added. The results published in the scientific journal PNAS, it's a Spanish journal, show that simultaneously targeting 3 key points of the KRAS oncogene molecular pathway achieves long-lasting tumor regression. In Spain, more than 10,300 cases of this type of cancer are diagnosed each year, with a 5-year survival rate of less than 10%.
My God.
The key to the breakthrough lies in avoiding resistance that appears when the oncogene is blocked at a single point. The CNIO team combined an experimental KRAS inhibitor, a drug already approved for lung cancer, with a protein degrader, resulting in tumors disappearing without significant side effects in 3 different animal models. Although the result could be a milestone in the fight against cancer, the study authors issued caution. Quote, we are not yet in a position to carry out clinical trials with triple therapy. The authors themselves warn that optimizing this combination for patients will be a complex process, although they are confident that the finding will set the course for future trials. So, basically, long story short, we know that cancer is a never-ending series of proteins that can't stop reproducing, that can't stop regenerating because of it's a cellular division defect. But different cancers of different organs have different failures. So this triple gene therapy, what it targets is the actual binding agent that allows for resistances to form. Much like how people become resistant and tolerant to alcohol or penicillin over a given period of time. Same concept. The protein degrader is the protein degrader that they mentioned in the article is what stops the protein from continuing its replication. It stops the protein from reproducing.
You have to do it all together for it to all work, because it's gonna try and survive, and then it might float away and try to rebuild somewhere else. So you got to kind of like add to it.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah. Ever heard about the guy that got arrested riding a motorized bar stool? He went to my high school. No.
That's some redneck shit. But you know what? You make a good point. Can't stop, won't stop. You know what we can't stop and we won't stop on this here show?
Okay, go ahead. Go.
What?
Go. Nothing. I was just going to say... No, I don't want to, because you're about to do like a segue and I want to let you.
Oh, I was going to say, we can't stop, won't stop with this. Capture this.
Bump us, Brian. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Wait, is that a furry marrying an anime? Like a V
okay.
tube?
Brian?
Somebody? And who is
Brian,
that marrying
I want
them?
you to know.
It's like
that
Dracula.
is a shinobi.
That is some cash. Okay, so just in case, for all you guys that are new out there, let me just explain what's going on here. This is called Caption This. This is the game that we play at the end of every Sunset Ranch show. And we have an AI generated image that we'll put up here on the screen. We ask you, the audience, to please participate. Give us a great, funny caption, short and sweet. We will choose at random, well, not random, but we'll choose later on which ones go on t-shirts. Short and sweet, funny, and Vasa and I will vote on the funniest one at the end, and we'll choose the winner. But yeah, just so you guys know, anybody who's new out there. But sorry, go ahead, Navasa.
Two things. One, Brian, you are 100% right. I do feel targeted. And number two,
she's pretty.
I am just. Oh, I know she's pretty. But I also went ahead and made my caption in the chat.
You know what happened here? He went to one of those like Tokyo virtual, fake hostess hologram. I forgot what they're called. This girl, right? And he spent all his coin on her. And then eventually he's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to marry her if I'm gonna get any of my money back. And she's like, you know what? I always wanted to have a furry friend. So
there's my caption.
This is legal in New York.
You know what? It's 100% true. You can actually marry your digital waifu in New York.
Oh God, please! I already feel nauseous. Please.
I know.
Yeah, very true, Hardy. Though.
In all due fairness, the thing that kind of just both baffles me and kind of
I'm just like waiting. I don't know how far the delay is for Navasa, so I'm just like waiting. I'm like, he's gonna make another point.
No, Hardy. You son of a gun, Hardy.
No. Oh yeah, all the bridesmaids are anime as well. Yeah, and what's up with the I don't know, what do you call them? Pastor, whatever. What's that other word? It is a pastor.
It is a pastor.
What's the word that's in that Christmas song?
I have no idea.
Isn't it Parson or something?
Notice how
sorry. Rebel says you're cordially invited to the first Neuralink wedding. That was great.
Oh,
bro, this is actually going to happen. You know this is going to happen though. Like, this is going to happen. It's yeah. Brian's telling us it's already happened in Japan. Yeah.
Not only is this going to happen, Neuralink wise, but there's got to be a company that's going to monetize it. And it's going to be a pay to play.
Are you
all
kidding?
The skins.
Listen, when all like the top people in the world, when they get together to like figure out what the next big thing that they're going to keep their money flow going, like, you don't think they talk about this crap and how they're going to start getting everybody into it, more into it until there's like a demand for it, and then here, boom, now we're going to start promoting it like crazy, and then everybody's going to buy.
I need a Steam Deck or a Stream Deck that has the Jim Cramer hotkey for buy.
I promise you guys out there, or you gals, any of you, the real thing is worth the wait. This is not necessary. Look at the one in the back, the Pikachu.
I was gonna say the Pikachu onesie is both disturbing and oddly ties things together.
Yeah, it kind of like, yeah.
I just want to make note of the guy in the back left.
I just spotted him. I'm like, why does he look like a CIA agent?
I was gonna say he looks like Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's nanomachine, son.
But he's got like the buzz cut, I think.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
the
this is
senator.
crazy. That's funny.
But no. Hardy, notice how Charizard.
I don't know.
Oh
who
God!
that is.
No. Rebel wins. Rebel wins. That's my vote because of the freaking maiden voyage in the background. Welcome to the first Neuralink wedding.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I know that's the one. I thought that was the one that you were looking at. I had to like Google Charizard, so it's from Pokemon. That's
That's why I was
little.
laughing my ass off.
I know that was the dragon. Okay, that would have been cool.
Oh no!
Ew. That's definitely like imagine no. And then you know what I'm seeing, like, you know, the Elon the Optimus robots and stuff. I'm like, oh no. It just brings me to that. Oh, his last night's catch of this. Have you ever seen, what was it, the Big Bang Theory episode where one of them makes the robot? I can't think of his name now. Howard. He makes the robot and he uses it for, you know, things, and he gets stuck and he's got to go to the hospital. Yeah. We're already there, folks.
No.
The demand is already there. Yeah.
Girl, I do not need to cross my legs and hold them for dear life. Thank you.
But
no, it's either Neuralink wedding or digital gonorrhea.
Oh my god.
I now pronounce you Dr. and Mrs. Krieger from Archer. But no, Hardy.
Okay, yeah, my vote goes to I like Rebels. I like you're cordially invited to the first Neuralink wedding. I like that one.
Yeah, okay.
That's Howard Bernadette saves him. Yeah.
Thank you, Rebel.
Yeah, great job, Rebel. Great job, everybody.
In this case, I think an actual wedding card might actually be better.
Oh no, Brian, late submission.
Okay, first off, Brian, we're going to talk after this, honey.
That's great. No, but congratulations, Rebel. Great job. Great job.
We'll make sure to get the wedding card with everything attached to it.
Digitally set, of course.
For partaking in Caption This. Of course. But yes, thank you guys for participating and partaking in Caption This. It's every night, Monday through Thursday, when we do Sunset Rants. It's a nice little hearty laughter, if you will, to get us through the doom and gloom. But thank you, Biddy, for having me on, even though I'm only here every other Wednesday because night shift, best shift.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. But yeah, if you guys want to follow the show, you know where to go. X, the real Roma _AK. You can follow both of us if you like, Elizabeth213A or Lord Navasa. He's got a title on X, so excuse me. Or you can go up to the Q&R code at the top of the screen, riseofmiddleamerica.com. Go there. Check out all of our videos. The drive-in is doing its thing. They're on Tuesday nights at like 10:30 p.m. Definitely check them out if you haven't already. But you could see everything on there. You could see Roma Nation, all of our shows, all of our videos, all of our socials. You could join Discord, hang out with us. Our merch is there. If you want to support the channel, there's many ways you can do that. I personally think merch is the best because then you can rock it when you go outside. But yeah, thank you so much, Navasa. Allegedly. It's always a pleasure. Allegedly. And thank you all always. As I always say, I love you guys. Thank you all for hanging out with us, chatting with us. Yeah, you make this show just even better. I just love you all. And yeah, take us out, Navasa.
Well, hopefully you overcome your case of the rants.
Never.
But no, like Biddy said, thank you for being here. You guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe if you're in the East Coast, especially because another Northeaster is coming in. So give yourself the distance and if you have to drive. In the South, I pray that you guys are recovering from snowpocalypse because we don't know what 1 inch of snow actually means. But you guys have a good night. Thank you. Join us, romanation.com.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.